Bob's real name is Lucky. For reasons I will never completely understand, I've been privileged to find the true, ironic beauty behind his name. At first glance, his life's travails haven't contained a whole lot of luck in the traditional sense of the word, but I'm learning life is more about perspective in regards to luck anyway, and thanks to Bob, his perspective continues to rub off on my soul too. I first met him while I was working on a blog entry of all things, my head buried behind my laptop on the end of a long wooden table in a room that is the office of Hope for AIDS in Mutare, my crazed curly hair sticking out the sides of the monitor. I came to the country to meet such dynamic souls such as Bob, yet in these moments all I wanted to do was to finish my writing so I could ship it off to my loved ones internet posted as a present to them on Thanksgiving Day, sharing with them my first week of adventures in a land I'd already come to love, Zimbabwe. Bob came and sat in one of the wooden chairs that lined the naturally lit room. As I introduced myself, instead of a handshake, he offered me something called tapinda, the native Zimbabwean term for dried anchovy that my senses immediately alerted me to. Looking back, I think he was testing me. In his subtle yet appraisingly resourceful way, I think he wanted to see if I was worth talking to. The privileged white American adventurer I all but claimed to be, but of which I stood out in the same way an African elephant stands out in a room for us. Thankfully, I obliged, even as I tried to hide my grossed-out expression as I expressly chewed and swallowed, proudly managing an awkward smile in the midst of my distasteful gastronomical experience. He nodded back as if handing me an unspoken inclusionary ticket to his world. I was in, and looking back, I covet my instinctual choice that would align our world together as friends. I soon learned that Bob, a 24-year-old native Zimbabwean, is Mishik's right-hand man, not only as a Livebird's employee, but in life itself. Bob is the understated version of Mishik. While Mishik engages in animated mantras, Bob speaks to the point, tennis volley style, his eyes glancing sideways in pause as his words are sent solidly back to you. Bob and I shared many words together across my 5 weeks of stay in my beloved African home. I relished that most of them were spent while walking. On these treasured travels together along the shoddy roads that belie Mutare's unmistakable mountainous beauty, I began to know him. I took in his story like gravity and encountered a life of faith, perseverance, and resourcefulness that is as rare as his name. Bob's parents both died before he turned 6 of tuberculosis. He and his siblings were shuffled between the care of their grace-filled grandmothers, and Bob began to climb adversity's rockiness with them, not as a bystander, but with active, determined, never-complaining persistence. He rationed food for his family during the drought that shocked his country as a young boy. His body got so used to the piecemeal food that he still eats little today, preferring to stay lean rather than indulge in things he does not need. He raised money for his school by drawing pictures and submitting them to a local hospital. He eventually paid his way bit by bit through school to become a car mechanic by trade. To prove the depth of his character, one day during my stay, a stray car broke down while Bob happened to be walking by. Instead of glancing down and continuing on as I would have done, like the good and talented Samaritan that he is, Bob, without hesitation, walked over and offered his services, repairing the car on the spot. He laughed and remarked that he did get a free ride out of it, as if unaware of his own marked genuineness. One day he showed up at the door of my home where I was staying and asked to come with me to the orphanage where I spent my days. He couldn't have known that I needed a friend more than anything on that day. As we walked toward the beloved children we would spend the day with, we spotted monkeys and talked about his hopes for the future. What was striking to me was that even in a country oppressed by dictatorship, Bob never revealed an ounce of cynicism in his words. His hopes existed because he believes in active waiting, staying loyal to all that he has and looking to God for the rest. That day at the orphanage, he illustrated his testimony through the metaphor of a tree of life, talking orphan to orphan about how to glean fruit and throw out weeds and tangles in our life. It was a message of transformation he gave away freely, and as I sat in the orphanage home, my head resting against the wall behind him, I saw the glory of Bob as he voluntarily shared truths with children. I smiled in wonder and still do. What he gave us was a message of commonality and hope. As we now fast forward to present day, August 19, 2012, revealed only by the beauty of distance and reflection of 6 months at time, I realized that I actually sat before Bob not only as a friend, but today as a sister too. You see, I was once an orphan myself, and God our Father has graciously chosen to adopt us both into His family. Bob, Lucky, helps me to realize the beauty of my adoption. The true irony is that the luck of meeting Bob is all mine, and I take the reality of my treasure wholeheartedly. I admit in full consciousness that I think of him every day. He too helps me out with this, sending me emails through Facebook almost daily while graciously naming me his sister. I believe there is so much power in naming, and because of Bob, I have received a new name.